The Trappist monk Thomas Merton said, "The more you try to avoid suffering, the more you suffer, because smaller and more insignificant things begin to torture you in proportion to your fear of being hurt. The one who does most to avoid suffering is in the end the one who suffers most." Please note that Merton says trying to avoid suffering makes it worse. He is saying that the more energy we invest in fighting against suffering, the more suffering will fight back. Hello, I'm Kathy Jacobson, and I'm the founder of modesofemotion.com, where we believe emotions are energy, energy is power, and therefore emotions are power. Our mission is to help people access the vast ocean of personal power they possess. We work to reduce conflict and suffering within ourselves, between individuals, and in the world. But we all experience suffering, and when we're immersed in it, it can feel as if there is no way out. When I was at the lowest point of my own despair, I felt as if I had been sentenced to life imprisonment. At that point, I felt no hope and saw no escape. It was as if a heavy weight had pinned me to the ground. If that's where you are, I send you my deepest compassion, and I hope you're finding valuable support from those who love you. I also hope the 6 videos in this series on relief from suffering can provide you with the tools to find relief and peace of mind. The 6 steps of this series do not necessarily need to be taken in order, and it's possible to be consciously attending to 2 or more at the same time. So if you are entering this series with this video, welcome. And then you may want to check out the rest of the series using the links in the story notes. So the 6 parts are: 1. Identify what your story is about. 2. Be present in your story. 3. Pause, then look and listen, and stop. 4. Move from what is to what might be. 5. Retrain your brain. And 6. Accept your rate of progress. Today, we are at step 4. Move from what is to what might be. So let's begin by considering what is. And that means right here, right now, today. It means accepting the conditions of today for what they are, and neither resisting what happened yesterday nor catastrophizing about what may happen tomorrow. Unfortunately, for most of us, it seems easier to resist than to accept. It seems easier to struggle against what we are experiencing, to fight back against our perceived enemies, to strive for solutions, and even to indulge in our misery. In the present moment, your mind might be full of hurt, regret, judgments, or other elements of the story. And if you move forward or backward in time, the story may lodge somewhere in your body and continue to afflict you. But if you can stay in the immediate now and simply acknowledge what you feel, you will have more access to your personal power, and that is actually easier than the effort it takes to resist. So here are some ways to stop struggling and become more accepting. First, breathe. Take deep abdominal breaths. This draws oxygen into and through every part of your body. You've probably heard the expression, oxygen is life. Oxygen is also energy and therefore power. Consider what tension does to you. Your muscles tighten up, stiffening your body. This also restricts the flow of oxygen through your system. Without the smooth flow of oxygen to your limbs, they become even more restricted, so your body loses flexibility and you become stiffer. As your movements become more limited, so do your options. In other words, you grow more helpless. The best way out of that cycle is to breathe steadily and deeply, and with breath comes release. Then stretch. Wherever you are, however you're dressed, Simply open up your body, lift your head, expand your rib cage, put distance between your chest and your hips. If possible, stretch out your arms and legs. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Stretching releases the muscles, allowing them to work and also allowing them to be still. This expansion allows more oxygen to reach your extremities. You regain the ability to move, to think, to act, and to imagine. Then relax. Keeping your body open from the stretching, let go of any tension you feel. In relaxation, you restore the functioning of both your conscious mind and your subconscious. This helps you experience optimism and creativity. And finally, ask yourself, what is mine to do now? And this allows the transition from what is to what may be. In the first stages of acceptance, you may be able to take hold of only a single strand of inner power and experience only a glimmer of an idea of what the future might bring. Then you add another strand of power and twist them together, and that glimmer of an idea will start to glow like the first vestiges of dawn. As we increase the number of videos in our library, you will find specific tools and techniques to help you gradually build your power. As you add more strands of power, possibilities emerge, and you start to feel unstuck. You form a thread of potential actions, and as you begin to take the baby steps of action, the string thickens into a cord. As your power increases, the cord becomes a rope. Eventually, the rope is strong enough to support your weight, and you follow through on your ideas, and your suffering eases. The most important takeaway here is that until you accept what is, any painful energy you haven't resolved, any onerous emotions you cling to, will hold you back. Now, I'd like to state firmly that acceptance is not the same as resignation. Acceptance is not an accommodation. It is not giving up or giving in, and it's certainly not an abdication of your power. Acceptance is receiving, as in holding your hands open to receive, as in gathering up a bounty of goodness and well-being. Acceptance is the willingness to be here in the present moment of now. Acceptance is opening yourself to the awareness and insight. That's why it's so important to be in the now, to be willing to be present, to be willing to be accepting, to be willing to see what is instead of indulging in what might have been, to be willing to give up your resistance and reservations. Any positive actions you take to relax and receive will help you achieve a state of calm. For more on this particular step, I recommend Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, which helped me to be more present in the present. And finally, as you move into what might be possible going forward, we explore 2 more powerful steps toward freedom from suffering in the next 2 videos. So in part 5 of this series, I'll lead you through how to set a precise intention to create the future you desire. And in part 6, we'll look forward to what it takes to make beneficial changes permanent. Again, the links are in the story notes. And I invite you to visit our website for my book, Being the Creator, The 5 Modes of Emotional Power. In this book, I develop our model for accessing the full measure of your personal power. You can find this book at Amazon or from our website, modesofemotion.com, where we will link you directly to the publisher. Also, we invite you to share your email address with us, and we will send you a free copy of my ebook, Easing Pain, 8 Steps for Long-Term Relief. So if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Until we meet again, look at the world with wonder and at yourself with warmth.